Hello and welcome along to episode 2 of this FM21 mini-series Scotland at the Euros. We're in charge of Scotland as a rookie manager and we're just trying to go as far as possible in the European Championships. So if you missed episode 1, you can catch up with that in the eye above where we met the squad we picked and we played our first game against England. And today we've got our last 2 remaining group games. Turkey and France are the opponents, and presuming we can pick up some points, this shouldn't be the last episode of the series. We're looking forward to having a last 16 tie, so we'll wait and see if we get that or not. So if you are looking forward to today's episode, please do chuck a thumbs up on the video. I hope you're enjoying the series. If you want to give my other stuff a try, you can find it in the eye above. And subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on to stay up to date with all the content. Now, possibly the most interesting thing about today's episode, aside from the games of course, is that our first opponents, Turkey, are managed by Steve McLaren. He's left his role as Derby technical director and he's now managing the Turkish national team. Now, of course, last time he was managing a nation, he didn't quite have the same level of success. He didn't even get to the European Championships. So we'll see if we can take advantage of that little curse for him today. But so far, it's been a blinding start. We remarkably beat England in the last episode. 2-1, a fantastic result, a brilliant performance. And we restricted them well. And I think that's sort of the sign of the tactic we've created here, is the fact that we're trying to attack teams. Yes, we've got a balanced mentality, but we're trying to keep the ball, we're trying to press, and we're trying to counter-attack a bit. And I really think it's worked out so far. So we'll go and get through to the first game today against Turkey. It looks like most of our lads are fit, and England have drawn 0-0 with France. So that means at the moment, the table looks like, and in fact, let me put it up with the group itself, just so it's not right above my head. There we go. So France on 4 points. They're our final opponents. England on 1 and Turkey on none. So if we beat Turkey today, we're through. If we draw with 4 points, we'd be very unlucky not to go through at least as a lucky loser. If we lose, we're in a big spot of bother and we'd have to get a result against France, you'd think. Because England will beat Turkey, I would have thought. Well, let's go and get into this game against Turkey. It's our second competitive match in charge as a manager. It's with Scotland in the European Championships. And a result today all but gets us through. So my only sort of dilemma in the lineup is, do we stick with the same 11 or do I take McGregor out for Ryan Jack in this holding role here? Because that's where we looked better in the last game. If we put Jack into there, that's what we did against England and looked really solid. So against a side of Turkey's calibre, can we get away with being more aggressive or should we sit behind the ball a bit more? I'm also worried about the fitness and the morale of Andy Robertson because he's just coming back from injury and I don't want him out injured. So I'm going to put Tierney at left back and Cooper's going to go alongside Grant Hanley today. I know I might regret that. Scott McKenna is on paper the better of the centre halves, but he's another left footer and I don't know if we can get away with just keep playing left footed defenders. Grant Hanley's that little bit quicker as well, which does give us something else when we're defending. Turkey have got a quick man up front. They play one in behind as a shadow striker. So we've got to think about that side of their game too. And the only other one I'm worried about is Ryan Fredericks, who's not fit, who's not played that well. And Aaron Hickey's got a bit more quality. I'm not sure why we've got so many bits of red on the touch map there. There you go, it's disappeared now. But I think that's what we're going to go for. So Tierney out to left fullback with Robertson, the best player in the squad, dropped. It's Hanley who comes in at centre half, Hickey at right back. And in centre midfield, Jack in the holding role instead of McGregor as a number 10. But the rest of the lineup remains the same. It's a big game against Turkey. It's a massive opportunity. Can we create history with Scotland? Let's go and find out. So the immediate warning is to close down Hakan, the set-piece specialist. He's also the skipper for Turkey. They've got Demiral alongside Siyuncu at centre-half. We've managed Siyuncu at Spurs in the head coach. We know he's top class. Demiral also becomes world-class in this game. Cengiz Ünder on the right wing. We know the quality he's got. He's a Premier League player in real life. Unal up front, really good player up there. Got a number 10 running off him. It's going to be a difficult challenge. On the bench, they've got stars if they need to call upon them. And Steve McLaren in charge, as we mentioned. What a moment it could be for Scotland, though. We're going to pump the fists. What are we going to say to them? We're going to stick with what the assistant recommends, but we're not getting much of a reaction whatsoever. So let's get through the tunnel interview and into the first half. I think there's a couple of little tactical tweaks we're going to make. Maybe make the wing-backs a bit more defensive for now. Just Tierney and Hickey, it doesn't make much difference to them. And for McGinn, we'll put him as an advanced playmaker and let him join the attack. Just try and give us a bit of a threat going forward. but we want a quiet half and a quiet game. 0-0 suits us. A 1-0 win would be even better. Well, according to the stats so far in this half, we've kept the ball pretty well, but not done a lot with it. Although we've got down from a knockdown there. Oh, it was a set piece just hurled into the box. And from a knockdown, a decent chance presented itself, but it's not worked out. I'm a little worried about John McGinn's fitness, which seems to have been terrible here so far. Though we're playing out from right back again. We're watching Turkey attack. As Yusuf picks it up, the number 10. He's dropped in deep there. Unal gets in behind Grant Hanley. I've no idea what he was doing. They're first to everything at Turkey. As Unal gets it into the box. We said everyone looked fit. And where the hell are they? This team is awful fitness-wise. And we talked about it. Getting themselves up for the big game against England. And then as soon as a decent occasion came. As soon as one came where they had to motivate themselves. They've bottled it. There's no other way of putting it. Look at the level of confidence and motivation drop out the team. People like Tierney, who are supposed to be known for this big character, for having a little bit more about them. And they've just shirked the responsibility. They've melted under the pressure. At half time, we're 1-0 down. It's been an even game. But we're not going to win it, are we? Because look at the lads. We've gone out and said we're not happy and we want to see more. And we're just looking at demotivated, nervous and anxious players. What can you say about them? A team of shrinking violets on the big stage. Let's get the defence back to what it was last game. Robertson will come on at left back. Tierney alongside Cooper at centre half. I know Hickey's still in at right back. McGinn, fitness-wise, has been all over the shop, so we'll get Ryan Christie on there, I think. Maybe even McGregor. Let's go for McGregor. Advanced playmaker on attack. 45 minutes to turn it round, because we aren't beating the world champions if we lose this one. As it's a free kick on the left for Ryan Fraser. Aggressive position. Cooper's hit the bar. And then Mulder's just knocked it into his own net. What a gift from Turkey. Cooper's header, it hit the crossbar, fair enough. It dropped down. There wasn't a Scottish player in sight trying to back up and get the rebound in. But what a gift. The defender just knocks it over the line. And now we're in stick or twist territory. The one sub we've got remaining is going to be Ryan Fraser. He's nervous. He's the most tired. Do we go Christie and stick with a natural winger? Do we go for Forrest, who's back to fitness but looks unsure, doesn't look happy? I think we go for Ryan Christie. He's going to be a winger on support as well. It gives us that solidity across the park. I think for McGregor now, we'll drop him as the standard deep line playmaker on support. We've got a positive mentality, but a more defensive setup, and that should mean we're not caught in behind. We've got 15 minutes to hold on here. It's Turkey 1, Scotland 1, and at the moment, this could be a very good result. It's whether we can cling on for it. We're in the 90th minute. There's 4 added on. We go on to 4 points with a draw. I think it's done on head-to-head first, so England now can't overtake us. Whether Turkey can, I'm not sure. What a performance, though, to come back. I don't really know how we got the point. Most of the lads are motivated, as we still say we're not happy. But I'm not quite sure how Turkey have let in the goal they have. Either way, we'll take it. We move on to 4 points, and the media sum it up perfectly. We get out of jail. 4 points, so far so good for Scotland. Yes, Hickey's got a little knock. He'll be out for a few days. He'll miss the France game for sure. But looking at the way we've been so far, 4 points out of 6 we would have certainly taken. We get a point against France, we qualified. That's going to be easier said than done because they're world champions. But let's just see how the groups are settled. So results between teams sort the league. So if England beat Turkey, we're through on head-to-head record against them. If it goes down to goal difference, I'm not quite sure. If Turkey and England draw, of course, we're through. So the only result we've got to worry about is if Turkey win. Because in terms of goal difference, if we have a look at Group D and where things are at the moment, Turkey's goal difference is -3. They were beaten quite heavily by France. Whereas we've got France, they've got England. It could make it quite difficult. So now, ironically, after our win against England, we need a favour from the English. Let's go and skip ahead to play France. I'm sure we'll lose, but let's see if we get the favour we need. It's France versus Scotland time. It's England versus Turkey. And anything but a Turkey win guarantees us a top 2 finish. A Turkey win means we could slip to 3rd, and depending on the goal difference, we could then lose out as a lucky loser. So there is a little bit of a balancing act today. We've only had 4 days off since the France match, and I'm kind of thinking about it and saying, do I want to rest people and have everyone fit for the last 16? But then what if we lose heavily, Turkey win, and we go out on goal difference in the lucky loser group? If we play our first team and they're not that fit, do we still lose by more than 2 anyway? There's so many questions going through my head. But I think I'm going to go for the backup team and risk it. Let's hope that England can get a result against Turkey. I know Scotland fans won't often say that, but it guarantees us a top 2 finish. So let's hope that happens. Let's go and pick our team. We'll be back in a moment with a much changed 11. And this is what we've gone for. We'll change a lot of the roles when we get into the match, of course, but this is the 11. It's Jed Steer in goal. Callum McGregor, auxiliary left back for today. He can do that all right anyway. Fredericks at right back with McKenna and Hanley together at centre half. McCrory in a holding role, Gordon Fleck in the middle. Christie and Forrest back in after injury on the wings. And Oliver Burke up front, who's in the middle of a transfer bid to go to France. What timing that is, eh? But that's the 11 for today. We know we're going to lose. We're going to try and play defensively. We're going to try and cling on for as long as possible. And we're just going to cross our fingers and look at the other games. So into it we go. It's France v Scotland. The plan is that no one will have started more than 2 games in the group stages. Fitness protected. There's a lot of experience in our team still. Let's see if they can produce a miracle, shall we? So it's 10 changes from the last match. Griezmann starts alongside Lamar, Martial, Pogba. Kante's in there, Varane at centre-half, Lloris in goal. It's 2 different levels of opposition, and even with our first side, we probably wouldn't have done much in this game, so I'm not too worried about it. They're resting Mbappe, they're resting Kingsley Coman, they've got a few of their stars on the bench as well. So maybe, just maybe, we've got a chance. To keep the score down, that is, not to win the game. The world champions will be led out by their keeper, Hugo Lloris against Scotland. And Grant Hanley, the only man to keep his place, is the skipper for us today. So we're going to say there is absolutely no pressure on you. Nobody has reacted positively. We're going to stick with a balanced mentality. I don't want to get caught too defensively. Otherwise, we'll just end up letting in 6, 7 or 8. What we are going to do, though, is drop the wing-backs to defensive duties. I know it doesn't suit Fredericks. Probably doesn't suit McGregor as a midfielder either. But that's what we're going to go for. McCrory is going to drop to an anchor man on defend. The midfielders, Fleck is better as a deep line playmaker. And Gould, I mean, probably the same. But we've got to have some threat. So I'm going to keep him box to box. On the wings, we'll have Christie and we'll have Forrest both as wingers on support. And in fact, should we just drop them in as left and right midfielders? Play a classic 4-1-4-1. We'll try and keep our shape. We'll try and do as much as possible. From the start, we're going to time waste all the time. We're going to make this the game that neutral fans don't want to watch. If we concede in the first 10 minutes, it's probably going to go wrong. But for now, this is the plan. We're going to defend as deep as possible. We're going to take as long as we can over things. Do we play with a higher line with this defence against that attack? I don't think we do. So that's what we're going for. We're going to defend our backsides off. We're going to time waste our backsides off. But instead of doing it a 1-0 up in the 80th or 85th minute, I'm doing it right from the start. France v Scotland, the odds are stacked against us. Can we produce a miracle? And more importantly, can England do their job to send us through? As with just 2.5 minutes on the clock, we've actually got an attack here with Fredericks. Gives it to James Forrest on the right wing, to Gould, to Burke. What a turn up this could be. Forrest is in here. James Forrest. It's a great save from Hugo Lloris. Almost shocked the odds. The game plan nearly came to life there. And bigger news is coming from the other game. Harry Kane's 2nd minute penalty gives England the lead against Turkey. Now, even if we lose, the results in the groups are decided on head-to-head record. And we've beaten England. So an England win suits us. And of course, for the Scotland rivalry and for the fact we've got the confidence of beating them already, we could face them later on as Martial gets in from the Pogba through ball. But Jed Steer makes the save. It was pretty comfortable in the end. With half an hour gone, so far so good. That was France's first shot on target. And we're back again with a Pavard throw on the right hand side. Pogba delivers the ball in. Lamar's shot's blocked and McKenna clears downfield. They're huffing and puffing a bit now. They're getting closer. But I mean, for France and Scotland, a draw suits both of us. They still win the group. They're not going to go gung-ho and they're not going to stop resting people. And for us, we sit in 2nd place. So no complaints for us. We're going to tell the lads, there's nothing to lose. Give it your best shot. We've got a couple of them motivated. And at half-time, this is as good as we could have asked for. As Lamar delivers a corner. Great header from Hanley to beat Varane in the air. Griezmann recycles, though, to Moussa Sissoko. Going down the right-hand side. Not really much pressure on him. He cuts it back to Griezmann. Are they going to produce the individual brilliance? They don't. Christie hacks downfield, but Kimpembe's there first. Kante and Pogba exchange passes. Lamar gets in, and it's 1-0 to France. You felt it was a matter of time. Pogba's unlocked the door with 2 or 3 of those today. But Jed Steer beating it is near post. The backup keeper not producing here. Crucially though, England are still winning. And as you can see from the league table there, the head-to-head record keeps us second. And that takes us through automatically. There is trouble though. Turkey have equalised as we're back with France again. Now, keeping it 1-0 becomes crucial for us. Because if Turkey get a win, as Pogba cooks Griezmann in, he makes it 2. Oh, it's squeaky bum time. If Turkey win their game now, we will be out on goal difference because we've drawn against Turkey. We don't have the head-to-head record advantage against them. We need England to get a result. We need them to. But Henderson scored an own goal. It's 2-1 to Turkey. What is going on with England? Kante's made it 3-0 and now we're out. We're reliant on a lucky loser position because England are bottling it yet again. England have to get a draw, although we're still in second for some reason. The goal difference can't be better for us because we're 3-0 down and they're 1 up. Maybe it's level and we're ahead on goals scored, I don't know. But at the moment, we're in big trouble. We're reliant on England and all we need is them to get a draw. I don't care who goes through out of Turkey and England. This is about us. McGregor at left back is anxious and that's not a shock because he's not a left back. So Robertson will come on for the last 20. Forrest, first game back, just building his fitness. On for him will be Ryan Fraser. And then John Fleck is going to be replaced as well. In fact, actually, I could have brought McBurney on. So we'll go and do that in a moment. But John Fleck is going to be replaced in the middle by, I don't know who, in truth. There's no one who needs fitness and there's no one who looks good. So shall we go for McTominay? I think we will. We'll have Gould as the playmaker, McTominay box to box. Instead of Fraser on, it will be McBurney. And then we'll take Oliver Burke out to the right wing. He's naturally suited to that. And McBurney's a bit more of a focal point. So as it stands, somehow, we're still in second. But I think there's 1 goal on goal difference from that changing. And we'll find out as France are coming forward and we'll undoubtedly get a 4th. Although the header finds McTominay, and if we score here, it could be absolutely crucial. McTominay's got McBurney in support. He's going alone, switches right to Oliver Burke. Into the box, great save Lloris. Tips onto the post, and Oliver Burke nearly earned his place in this Euro squad there. What an effort that was, and what a save by the French skipper. Ryan Gould will take the corner, an outswinger. Can he find anything but the keeper's arms this time? He can, but it's only Kimpembe's head. 5 minutes to go. England have equalised. Raheem Sterling has scored. And that means that Turkey dropped to 2 points. And despite a 3-0 defeat against France here for Scotland, we are through in second place on 4 points. We rotated and it sort of paid off because now the lads are rested and they're into the last 16. What a fantastic finish for Scotland here. We go through in second. England are in third. And as lucky losers, they're going out. I think Scotland fans would certainly take that this summer, wouldn't they? Let's go and see who we've got in the last 16. Well, there's the confirmation. And I've got a sneaky suspicion that bar a major miracle, the next episode might be a shorter one and might be our last. Because we face Spain in the last 16 of the European Championships. A world-class side littered with world-class talent. Yes, a lot of it's getting on a little bit now. But they've been brilliant, haven't they? Let's have a look at their group stage. They beat Ireland 3-0, they beat Poland 4-1, and they lost 1-0 to Sweden. So if you consider that France and England were in the same group for us, that's not a bad draw they've managed to get there. But the fact Sweden beat them 1-0, playing a bit more defensively, maybe that is a positive for us. It's certainly something to look forward to, and that's when we're going to be back. We've got an episode 3, which is more than we could have dreamt of at the start. And we will be facing Spain in the last 16 at the European Championships. If you're looking forward to that and want to see how we get on, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Subscribe down below for daily FM21 content from 2 long-term stories. We'll be back with what I presume will be the end of this series next Sunday at midday. And you can find all the links to our regular playlist and the new food channel trailer in the eye above, as well as the Twitch channel where we've got regular FM21 streams in the description down below. But a massive thank you for watching, for your continued support with the series as always. It is greatly appreciated. We've qualified, we've knocked England out, and I'll see you next time, see if we can do the same to Spain.